Hi, I'm Amber,
And I'm Kirsten.
and you're listening to
Lurking in the Shadows.
Welcome to True Crime in a Dime
Where we tell you a chilling story.
in 10 minutes time.
This is our short story segment if you're new, or if you're a seasoned listener, welcome back.
And we have a special guest, Steph, today joining us.
We do. We're a trio again.
Yes, we are.
And we get to tell them all about our sports murders today.
Yeah, we're another themed episode because no one's given us feedback saying they hate them.
So we're going to do what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
This is-
sports.
yeah.
Let's go for it.
Sports crimes is this one.
Yes, the Super Bowl should be coming up. We're recording this back in December. I can only hope the Eagles have made it back, but probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna jinx it. And say hopefully
Yeah.
the Bills are finally in it, but we'll see.
This is
It'll be a
probably
surprise.
what's happening right now. But ideally, I'd love the Bills and the Eagles in the
I agree.
Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yes.
But also deep down, I would like to see the Broncos go to the Super Bowl. They haven't been there in a hot minute, and got to represent Denver.
Yes. Yeah.
So, hopefully, they've been doing. You guys don't pay attention to sports as much, but Broncos have been doing pretty damn good this year, actually.
Oh,
So,
okay.
They have been. Yep.
yeah. So, yeah. If you're here and you don't know much about sports, stick around. We're going to talk about murder. I bet you like that if you clicked on this.
It's going to be sports murders, not just
Yes.
crimes. The specific crime is murder.
Yes.
There you go.
Perfectly. Yes.
So I'm going to start us off with Steve McNair. Stephen Latrell McNair was born on February 14th, 1973 in Mount Olive, Mississippi. He grew up with 4 brothers in a small cramped house. His parents were divorced when he was young, so his older brother Fred played a major role in raising him. His mother called him Monk, which is short for monkey, because he loved climbing trees.
Oh.
Makes sense.
Yeah. He attended Mount Olive High School where he played football, basketball, baseball, and ran track.
Wow.
So he was
Sportsman.
very
All of them.
athletic.
Yeah.
As a junior in 1989, he led the Mount Olive Pirates to the state football championship. In 1990 alone, McNair intercepted 15 passes. So that's his senior year.
Yeah. Senior year, 15 interceptions, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good for
Yeah.
1 year.
Especially for high school.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah.
The Seattle Mariners drafted McNair in the 35th round of the 1991 MLB amateur draft, but he chose to play football instead.
Mm.
McNair was initially offered a full scholarship to the University of Florida to play running back, but he wanted to play quarterback, so he chose Alcorn State University, which is a historically black university, instead. He became a football legend at Alcorn State, setting FCS records and finishing 3rd in Heisman Trophy voting, setting his path to the NFL. In 1992, McNair threw 3,541 yards and 29 touchdowns. As a senior in college, McNair gained 6,281 combined yards rushing and passing, along with 56 touchdowns.
Damn. That's a really good fucking football year for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I read a lot that I guess he set a lot of records. His total offense averages were 571 yards over 11 games, the all divisions collegiate per record game. Per game record. McNair also surpassed more than a dozen records and was named an All-American. He also won the Walter Payton Award as the top IAA player and finished third in the Heisman Trophy voting behind Rasham Salam and Ki-Jana Carter. I don't know who those players are.
I'm terrible with names anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know what the Heisman Trophy is, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
To be third in line for it, that's
and
pretty good.
The Walter Payton Award, I also,
Yeah.
In the 1995 NFL Draft, the Houston Oilers selected McNair, making him, at the time, the highest drafted African-American quarterback in NFL history, and signing him to a 7-year contract. McNair married his wife, I don't know if it's pronounced Michelle or Michelle, because it's spelled M-E-C, but he married her on June 21st, 1997, and they had 2 sons named Tyler and Trenton. He also had 2 other sons, Stephen Jr. and Stephen O'Brien, with 2 other women before he married Michelle. The team changed their name from Oilers to Titans in the 1999 season.
I was wondering, when you were saying that, I was like, I don't know this name. I wonder if they eventually changed
the Oilers either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. McNair signed a new 6-year contract after the 1999 season worth $47 million.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what that's worth today.
I like that stuff.
That's a lot.
Back then, compared to now, I bet. Holy moly.
That was 1999.
Yeah.
So between the 2002 and 2003 seasons, McNair was arrested for DUI and illegal gun possession in May of 2003. His blood alcohol was above 0.10 and a 9mm handgun was sitting in the front of the car. All charges related to the incident were later dropped. McNair and Colts quarterback Peyton Manning were named co-NFL MVPs following the 2003 season, which ended for the Titans in a playoff loss to the New England Patriots in the divisional round. McNair finished the 2003 season as a league leader in passer rating and became the youngest player in NFL history to pass for 20,000 yards and run for 3,000 yards.
Damn.
Wow.
McNair suffered different injuries as expected during his career, such as back and sternum injuries, so the Titans made the business decision of locking McNair out of the team headquarters in the 2006 offseason. The team would not let him rehab in its building because it feared an injury would force the franchise to pay him $23.46 million.
But
they don't care about his well-being.
Yeah, you're already spending all that money on him anyways. Why not,
right,
add more?
The Players Association filed a grievance on his behalf where they found that the team violated his contract, opening the possibility for a trade. On June 7, 2006, the Titans and Ravens worked out a deal to send McNair to the Ravens for a 4th-round pick in the 2007 NFL Draft.
Okay.
And during a game against the Kansas City Chiefs, McNair threw the longest regular season touchdown pass in the Ravens' history, an 89-yard touchdown pass to Mark Clayton.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn,
89 yards.
Yeah,
Holy
I know, it's crazy.
Boy, he just sent that motherfucker. Like,
yeah, he did.
He's got an arm.
He's like, I'm going to go for the 100.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn, that's a hell of an arm.
Yeah. Yeah, I could probably throw 2 yards. If that.
I wasn't sure what number was going to come out. She was accurate.
Oh, that's funny.
Because if she was about to say like 10 or something, I was like, I don't know.
2.
You're shooting high. You're shooting too high.
Bring it back in. No, 2 yards is pretty good. Yeah, you could get that.
Maybe I can get 2 yards. On May 9, 2007, McNair was arrested in Nashville for a DUI. He was not actually driving, though. But in Tennessee, it's a misdemeanor to allow an intoxicated person to drive your vehicle. So he was charged with DUI by consent. He was just in the vehicle and someone else was driving.
So he was drinking with someone else, and then that other person was also...
Was driving.
too intoxicated, so you drove. Okay.
Okay, but he still got charged because it was his vehicle.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait, isn't the whole point?
Yeah, so they were technically both intoxicated.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The charge for him was later dropped July 10, 2007, when his brother-in-law, who was driving, pleaded guilty to reckless driving. After 13 seasons in the NFL, McNair renounced his retirement in April of 2008. At the time he retired, McNair was one of just 3 quarterbacks to throw 30,000 yards and run for 3,500 yards.
Wow.
2009...
For a quarterback running that many yards, that's a lot.
That is a lot for a quarterback, yeah. In 2009, McNair began an affair with a 19-year-old waitress named Sahel Kazemi, which she went by Jenny. And so I think he was in his 30s at this point.
Yeah, that's a huge age gap right there.
Yeah.
And it's too close to that consent range.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes. Kazemi immigrated to the United States as a teenager after her mother was murdered in their home country of Iran. She then moved from Florida to Tennessee with her boyfriend at the time when she was 16. They broke up in December of 2008, then she met McNair later that same month. She worked at the local Dave & Buster's where many of the Titans players frequented. They would spend time at his condo in Nashville that McNair rented with a friend for times he wanted to spend away from his family. So, he's married, has a separate condo for times he wants to spend away from his family.
Family.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I gotta go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was not already, I feel like, if you have that amount of money and a second place is not a family vacation home, and hubby
That's
just got that on. Yeah, that's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kazemi's nephew Farzan Abdi remembered the couple going on trips to Florida, California, Hawaii, and even to McNair's farm in Mississippi where he grew up. McNair even co-signed the purchase of a black Cadillac Escalade in May of 2009 for Kazemi's 20th birthday.
He didn't buy it, though?
He just co-signed it.
Yeah. What a dirty
millionaire.
Little bitch. You have millions. Millions. Buy the bitch a car. Come on.
Yeah, that's just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Co-signing? Of course your credit score's good. You have no debt.
Right. Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Get on here. Buy me a fucking car, you millionaire.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Her family came to Nashville to celebrate her birthday, and they even met McNair over a sushi dinner and then partied at clubs around town. So he's pretty ballsy to meet her family while he's still married.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
They're not just having an affair, he's meeting her family.
Yeah. He don't give a shit.
No.
McNair
would tell her he was getting a divorce. Oh, yeah, I know. They don't care.
I mean, when you have money, it just, who cares?
Mm-hmm. McNair would tell Kazemi he was getting a divorce. Meanwhile, he's still living at home with his wife and kids. So it's not like they were separated or anything. He's still full-on married.
And she's aware. I never want to judge the woman in here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the appeal of him was probably overwhelming, to be honest. Mm-hmm. He has how much money? Yeah. She was probably
he's a famous NFL player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was probably like, holy crap, this man wants something to do with me. So you can't even blame her.
Yeah, this little 19-year-old waitress, yeah.
Yeah, can't blame her.
Yeah. His wife, Michelle, later revealed she had no plans to divorce her husband and had no idea about his affair with Kazemi.
I mean, how do you not, just assume?
Right. She said that she knew of other things he did, but she never knew about this girl.
I think she was just putting the rose-colored glasses on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or the blinders.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... In June of 2009, Kazemi started becoming suspicious McNair was seeing other women after she found used condoms in his condo bathroom.
Oh.
And he actually was having an affair with another woman named Leah Ignagni. whom he had met several months earlier. Ignagne later told police that she had noticed a Cadillac Escalade following her on several occasions. So Kazemi likely found out who she was.
Oh, okay.
One of McNair's security guys reported McNair was starting to become annoyed with Kazemi because she would call at inconvenient times when he was with his family, so he started seeing her less.
Wow. How gross.
Yep.
like he's already doing the shady old thing, and then like she's bugging him just a little bit too much, and he's like,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah,
Gross.
On July 1st, 2009, McNair met up with Kazemi at a sports bar after Ignagne told him she was busy. So she's like second choice now. McNair and Kazemi were later joined by McNair's friend Vent Gordon. In the early hours of July 2nd, they got pulled over by police in Kazemi's Escalade. Kazemi was arrested on DUI charges, but McNair and Gordon were allowed to leave the scene. Kazemi was... Oh, oops, I just read that. McNair later bailed Kazemi out of jail, and the couple allegedly argued. That night, he headed to Ignagne's home to sleep over. On July 3rd, while McNair was fishing with his sons, Kazemi texted him expressing concern over finances because her roommate moved out, so her rent was doubled, in addition to car payments on the Escalade and an older vehicle she owned, a cell phone bill, and apparently she had a hospital bill. McNair transferred her $2,000, and she asked him to meet up with her that night. Before starting her shift at Dave & Buster's that evening, she met up with a man named Adrian Gilliam. He was a convicted felon she met while trying to sell her old car, according to CBS News, and he sold Kazemi a 9mm handgun in the parking lot.
That's not a good sign.
Nope. Kazemi's manager, Sonia New, remembered Kazemi wasn't acting like her usual upbeat self that night. She told her manager about her relationship with McNair and recent DUI and said, quote, "My life is just shit and I should end it," end quote. When her shift ended, Kazemi texted McNair to ask him if he wanted to go out drinking. He declined, saying he was busy putting the kids to bed, but he was actually meeting up with his friend Doug Crow. McNair only stayed at the bar with Doug briefly before texting Kazemi at 12:38 a.m. to tell her he was on his way to the condo. McNair's driver dropped him off sometime between 1:15 a.m. and 1:30 a.m., and he would be the last known person to see McNair alive. According to the Tennessean, around 12:40 p.m. on July 4th, Wayne Neely, McNair's friend whom he rented the condo with, came home. When he walked inside, he discovered two bodies, although he claims to have not recognized who it was. He left the apartment to call McNair's longtime friend and business partner, Robert Gaddy, around 12:50 p.m. to tell him what he had found. They then both entered the condo together, and he immediately recognized one of the bodies was McNair and called 911 around 1:35 p.m. So the bodies were likely there for about...
But why would you just call 911 beforehand? Like, why would you call a friend just immediately? You see two dead bodies, just call them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you know who they are. There's two dead bodies here.
There's two dead bodies. Yes, exactly.
There's an emergency.
Yes.
Yeah. So the bodies were likely there for about 12 hours before being found, based on the timeline.
Wow.
Authorities ruled the death of McNair and Kazemi a murder-suicide. Investigators concluded that at some point in the early hours of July 4th, McNair fell asleep on the couch and Kazemi shot him multiple times while he was asleep. She shot him on the left side of his head from a few feet away, then twice in the chest and another on the right side of his head at a closer range. Kazemi then, what we assume, sat down next to McNair, shot herself in the right side of her head, and collapsed onto his lap before falling onto the floor on top of the gun. After investigating, it's suspected that Kazemi had become overwhelmed by her financial struggles and the state of her relationship with McNair after discovering he was having another affair. From what I read, Kazemi's family didn't believe she was capable of murdering someone, especially considering she had never used a gun before. But I mean, I guess if you're that what's the word? Desperate, you never know what someone might do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to
Or
ask
just emotional.
Yeah, like, she just, like, randomly bought a gun from some guy. I'm like, is her real thought process, I'm gonna buy this in a parking lot and hang on to this for the right moment? Because she didn't do it that night. Do you know what I mean? Like, she
she did do it that night.
Oh, what's that same night?
Yeah, it was, she worked her shift and then they met up later on after midnight.
Oh, so, okay. Yeah, she totally planned this all out. She's like, I'm gonna buy this gun and I'm gonna shoot this motherfucker. I wonder if she asked that man, because she had never used a gun before, that man in the parking lot, she's like, I'm buying this gun. Can you show me how to use this?
Give me some pointers.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because if she had no idea what she was doing, I mean, she did it, so.
Right. I'm assuming it must have already been loaded, because I doubt she would have known how to load it. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had to have given her some pointers and stuff, because, like, from start to finish of firing a gun, there's more steps in there than you think. And I feel like if she had no idea what she was doing, then he had to have given her some pointers or something.
Yeah.
YouTube. I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
Just kidding.
Well, I also doubt that he probably didn't think, like, the seller probably wasn't thinking, like, oh, what's your intent on using this? Because, like, if it's just a shady exchange, they're probably thinking it's going to be a drug deal or something, and you just want, some protection, not, oh, you're going to kill your boyfriend and yourself tonight.
Well, and also, I guess, as a woman buying a gun like that, you're not going to, like, suspect that. They honestly probably thought, like, a woman protection type of thing. Like, she wants protection. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, she probably told him some story.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
In July of 2012, McNair was named the 35th greatest quarterback of the NFL's post-merger era, and his number was retired by the Titans during a halftime ceremony on September 15th, 2019. McNair was inducted into the Black College Football Hall of Fame in 2012 and the College Football Hall of Fame in 2020.
Okay, that's good.
And that's where the case ends. Murder-suicide.
Yeah. Wow. I never knew of that one, actually, at all.
Yeah, I had never heard of him. And he set a lot of records. Like, he had a lot of yards and stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not... that's just sad that it's not a name we know, to be honest.
Right, yeah, that's true, yeah.
I'm a bit surprised with the amount of money that he has, that he didn't, like, say, here's $1 million. Like, if you've got some financial problems, here's $1 million. Like, that's nothing.
Right.
When you
have like we
multiple...
said, like, he only co-signed the car. Like, if she's struggling so bad, just pay it off.
Yeah. That's why, that's my thing is, like, if the financial aspect of everything was the biggest lead here with her and this relationship, why didn't he financially support her for not that we know the whole story, but for the few things that she wanted, the Escalade or whatever, like, I feel like it was not too much of a financial burden for him to do something like that,
right,
if he was outright. It could not have been financially straining him to do those things.
Right.
Unless he was concerned about, like, if he paid for that and his actual wife found out. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, like
But at the same time, I just don't have 2 girlfriends then.
Yeah.
Like,
or
like
he just, like, he really didn't care about her in that way, and it was strictly sexual for him.
Could have been.
Yeah, that's what I also, like, and sadly, in a lot of relationships like that, like, you read these stories like that, it is more for the woman than it was for the man, that he's married and has kids. This probably was just a booty call. It could have been just a booty call fling for him type of thing.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe the co-signing on the Escalade was for him just enough to, like, keep her around because he liked her enough, but not too much, like you said, to disturb the wife and that relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Teetering on that line of, like, being unfaithful. Like he is, but, like, how far do we take this?
Yeah. But that's unfortunate. Like, if she was that unhappy, just do it yourself. You don't have to involve anyone else at that point.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of unfortunate that he got involved. And that's probably just a shock to the kids that he was, you know, it sounded like he was still taken care of, you know, faithfully. So now that those kids lost a father because,
Right, yeah.
you know, someone
Yeah,
just
a young
wasn't
father.
emotionally stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to know. I mean, not that it's like good, but like my two cases are quite different than your two cases then, Kirsten. So good. We
Okay,
kept this a
good.
nice little variety for
Mix
our
it up.
sports then. Yeah. So my next case is Ray Lewis. I don't know if either one of you have heard of him.
I
That
came
sounds
across him in
familiar.
research, but I don't know him.
Okay. And for Steph, it probably sounds familiar because both these that I cover do their entire football career with the same team. So it's kind of a little bit
Okay.
easier, like maybe a name like comes up, not bouncing around so much.
Gotcha.
So Raymond Anthony Lewis Jr. was born in Bartow, Florida, to a young 15-year-old mother. He was the
Wow.
firstborn of 5 children. His father was absent from his life, so he was raised by a single mother. His last name at birth was actually Jackson, but after what little contact he had with his father had stopped, Ray changed his last name to Lewis. He became the man of the house. As his 4 siblings grew older, he took on more responsibilities. He did his sister's hair, made sure his younger brothers got to daycare, and just took over the father figure in these kids' lives so that they could grow up with some kind of structure.
That's sweet.
Yeah. He attended Kathleen High School in Lakeland, Florida. He loved playing sports. He became Florida State champion in wrestling. He also became a star linebacker for the high school team. He had a small stature and started a strict push-up regimen using the 52 playing cards in a deck, and this later inspired his jersey number in his professional career as 52. After high school, he went to the University of Miami, where he played for their football team called the Hurricanes. He quickly became a starter for the Hurricanes during their last few games of the season. He had multiple blocks, 2 sacks, and 4 pass deflections, all during his freshman year. He helped the Hurricanes have the top-ranked defense in the nation during his sophomore season. By his junior year, he ended with the second highest tackles in University of Miami history with 160 tackles.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good. In
Yeah, it is.
1965, Ed Wiskoski made 164 tackles, holding the actual record. When he finished his junior year in 1995, he decided to enroll in the NFL draft. He was a first-round pick for the Baltimore Ravens, who were starting their first season in 1996. When he joined,
Okay.
yeah, like they had just 1996. I googled it. I was like, no way, the Ravens established themselves in 96. Apparently.
Yeah.
When he joined the season, he was 6'1" and 235 pounds or 107 kilograms. Hold on.
I wonder if he played with McNair at all.
You know,
when he was
yeah.
on the Ravens.
When you said that earlier, I was like, through these years, because I'm going to go through these years, and he makes it. Hold on, let me remember where I'm at. Yeah, we go through this whole thing, and he has his career up through 2012, I believe, with the Ravens. So
Okay,
he had to have played.
You were joined in 2007, so
Yeah, so he had to have played some years with him, and they just kind of like ironically end up being same team, same people, same year, like not the same years, but they coexist within the same time with each other. Okay, here I was. He had a decent rookie season, finishing with 110 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception. The Ravens finished their season 4-12 that year. The next year, yeah, I know, not too great, but the next year, 1997, he had his career record of 184 tackles, 4 sacks, and 11 pass deflections. The Ravens ended with a 6-9-1 season.
Yeah, only improving.
Yep, slowly improving. I am only going to highlight some of his career achievements because he had 15 years altogether as an NFL career with the Baltimore Ravens, and we'll be here all day if I go over everything. So, he continued focusing and getting better each year. It was in 2000 where he had a career highlighting season. He ended this season with 137 tackles, 2 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, and 3 fumble recoveries. The Ravens ended this in 2000. In 2000.
Oh, 2000. Okay.
Yeah, he had 137 tackles. That's probably where the 7 came from.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The Ravens ended this season with the fewest points allowed and the fewest rushing yards allowed. So the defense was pretty good that year.
Yeah.
This year, the Ravens made it to the playoffs by beating the Broncos in the wild card game 21-3. And they played the Tennessee Titans, where Lewis intercepted the ball to run it 50 yards for the game-winning touchdown. He had another fumble recovery and 7 tackles in their win against the Raiders, 16-3. Lewis earned the achievement of NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and they went on to play the Giants that year in the Super Bowl and spanked them 34-7 for his first career Super Bowl win.
Wow.
Yep. That was in 2000.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. In 2002, he suffered an injury that put him out for the season before he had been part of the... Before this, he had been part of the Pro Bowl for the past 5 years, from 97 to 01. So then since his injury year, he didn't get to participate in the Pro Bowl that year. In 2003, he was awarded his second NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He was injured in the 5th game of the season in 2005, unable to play a lot of the rest of that year. The Ravens finished with only a 6-10 record. In 2006, he got his personal best of 5 sacks in 14 games. In 2008, the Ravens made it to the playoffs that year, but did not make it to the Super Bowl. After this season, Lewis became a free agent, but decided to finish his career staying with the Ravens then. In 2012 was Lewis's last NFL season, and this was his year for a second Super Bowl win. Early in the season, he suffered a torn tricep. He was out for most of the season until he rejoined in the wild card game against the Colts, winning 24-9. He also announced this would be his final year in his career. And then they beat the Broncos in a double overtime, winning 38-35. And then they beat...
Very close.
Yeah, that one was a close one. And then they beat the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 47 to play the 49ers, and they won that game 34-31.
Also a close game, especially for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tell me why. That's my problem. I can never get this thing to fucking scroll. I'm gonna freak out. God. Okay. So he had a pretty long career. So with all that being said, where's the murder, right? After Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Rams beat the Titans on January 31st, 2000. So we're going back to 2000. Everyone was, of course, celebrating in downtown. Part of these parties, participating in these parties was Lewis, Reginald Oakley, and Joseph Sweeting, who were part of his little, posse for the night. You know, they got a little posse they hang out for the night when they go out on the town, like security, things like that. So that's all part of his little group. They found themselves outside of Cobalt Lounge on East Peace Ferry Road near the Buckhead Village neighborhood. This lounge is located about 2 miles from downtown Atlanta. About 200 yards from the lounge, outside, Lewis's group ran into another group who Jason Baker and Richard Lolar were hanging out with in this area. We're just having a party. It's Super Bowl night. An argument between the men broke out, and the end result was both Baker and Lolar being stabbed to death.
Oh,
Lewis,
wow.
Sweeting, and Oakley were questioned then by Atlanta police. Some of the evidence found, and also not found, included a knife that was found on the scene that contained no fingerprints or DNA. And there was some blood located then in Lewis's limousine that came back the DNA came back as Baker's. Lewis that night was wearing a head-to-toe white suit, and that was never found.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because it's probably covered in blood.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're stabbing somebody. I'm talking like I can picture it in my head, a head-to-toe white suit. You know, there ain't no way of like.
Did anyone see him that night? Would someone have seen him covered in blood?
Well, if like they must have gotten just in the limo. Like that's how the blood got in the limo. Is like they stabbed him.
Okay, so they were just leaving the scene right away.
Yeah, like that's how I took it as, is like how that blood got into there, or, and I say this then is that suit was never found then. So, got in the car with the blood on the suit and disposed of the suit type of thing. You know, it just kind of like rubbed off, is what I was thinking. After 11 days, the men were arrested on aggravated assault and murder charges. District Attorney Paul Howard suspected that Lewis's white suit that he had been wearing, and obviously had been stained with blood, was dumped in probably a garbage bin. He suspected like outside of a gas station or a food place or something. Lewis provided a statement that Sweeting and Oakley both purchased new knives at Sports Authority where he was signing autographs before the big game. Don Samuel and Ed Garland were Lewis's attorneys. They were able to negotiate a plea deal after only 2 weeks of trial. In exchange for Lewis's testimony against Oakley and Sweeting, they would drop the murder charges and lower his charges to obstruction of justice, which is simply a misdemeanor. The obstruction of justice charge came from when police were interviewing Lewis the morning after the murder. He stated that he wasn't at the crime scene at all that night, and they later could prove that was a lie. The max punishment for Lewis's charges as a first-time offender was 1 year in prison. However, Superior Court Judge Alice D. Bonner, I almost said boner, sentenced Lewis to 12 months probation. So he wound up only in 12 months probation. He was also fined $250,000 by the NFL. A little slap on the wrist from the NFL for murder.
Truly.
And also he was not allowed to use drugs or alcohol while he was on probation, was another one of the stipulations. Now for Oakley and Sweeting, yeah, probably. But I guess, I don't know, they had to emphasize that as an NFL guy, you know?
Yeah.
Now for Oakley and Sweeting, they stood behind, they were just defending themselves. And in June, after hearing the little evidence that they had and deliberating for 5 hours, both men were acquitted of all charges. And if you...
I mean, yeah, I guess you can't prove it, so...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had nothing. They really had nothing from it. Just like 2 guys dead, and these people did it, but they had like nothing to like, I don't know, like nail it down that they could do time for it type of thing, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you remember earlier, so this happened in 2000, that next year then for his career football, he goes off to win the Super Bowl and Defensive Player of the
Yeah.
Year that next year.
He didn't deserve that title.
Not after that.
No. Lawler, one of the men who died, was expecting a daughter when he was murdered. Her name was India Lawler and was born a few months after his death. On April 29th, 2004, when India was 4 years old, her family decided to sue Lewis for the death of her father. The Lawler family and Lewis settled in outside of court with an undisclosed amount. And then also the Baker family did the same thing with Lewis, settling out of court with an unknown amount. In 2013, a year after he retired, Lewis did a pre-recorded interview with Shannon Sharp, that aired aired before Super Bowl 47. Sharp brought up the murders and stated, "It's hard for the victims' families to stand by and watch Lewis continue to have the millions of fans following that he has when they believe he knows more about what had happened than what he is saying." She asked Lewis what he would say to the families today. He is quoted saying, quote, "This is good, guys. I want you to know. Prepare yourself.
Uh-oh.
God has never made a mistake. That's just who he is, you see. To the family, if you really knew the way God works, he don't use people who commit anything like that for his glory." End quote.
What does that mean? Because he's a person. Is he saying whoever did this isn't a person?
I don't even know how to interpret
Because
that.
we're all God's children, apparently.
Yep.
That makes no sense.
Yep. So that was his response to that interview about the murders. Yeah.
What a
So
piece of
someone dies, and God makes no mistakes. So that means that the death is not a mistake.
shit. Yeah,
It was
so
meant
he's
to
that
happen,
means
I
that-
guess. Yeah.
I guess so.
Ray. If
Yeah.
you're still alive, you suck.
Yeah. He is. He's still kicking. Yeah, he's still kicking.
Okay, you suck.
Yeah. This is where I could end highlighting all of the good things that Lewis has done since 2 lives were taken that night in 2000. So from charity events, donations, and giving back to the community to show appearances, hundreds of interviews, and even he had a street in Baltimore renamed Ray Lewis Way in 2010. Where's
that at? Let me take that sign down.
Right. Right. So where does Lewis's good deeds outweigh his bad? Is there an amount of time and money to make up for 2 lives taken? I guess that is up to you to decide if fame and fortune for your entertainment is more valuable than a life.
It's not. I gave you the answer. It's not.
All right. Yeah. Because he went on, that was early 2000. He went on for another 12-year career, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and just because he paid those families out doesn't justify, the lives.
Doesn't bring
especially the one that had a baby shortly after.
Yeah, he'll never know her father.
Yeah, like the wife or whatever she was actively pregnant at the time. Like that's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she had to give birth and raise her baby without her husband there.
Yep.
Yeah. And even if he's not the one that did the actual stabbing, you were present, and 1, you lied.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, you're like, I'm just going to throw other people under the bus. Like, I don't know. It just seems so shady. And like to get rid of the suit, it's like either, you were clearly there. So even if someone stabbed and like the blood splatter hit the suit, that's still not a good look. You're close enough to stop that person from stabbing, the other. So yeah.
That's. I don't know. What put in perspective for me researching these cases is how much fame and fortune and a little bit of entertainment will take you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And money, he'll take you very
And
far.
money. I mean,
Yeah.
before we even jumped on here, Steph brought up the O.J. Simpson case, and I think that's also a prime example of
Mhm.
how far fame, money, and all that will take you.
Yeah, you can get away with murder if you got the money to do it.
Yeah, and honestly, Ray Lewis did, in my opinion, and had a
Yeah.
full.
And same with OJ. OJ's guilty. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And they had a full. At least I don't remember. OJ didn't like continue NFL, but like Ray did then for how many years after that?
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And even after that, I didn't include all that in, but even after that, in like 2019, 2020, 2020, he's doing interviews, things like that. He's living his little life, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Hopefully that guilt
That's crazy.
eats at him.
Hopefully.
Hope so.
All right, last case. No, I'm just kidding. Second to last case.
How you did it?
But I'm changing it up because it's not going to be football.
No, yeah, yours is in football this time.
Figure skating.
Cool.
Figure skating. No, just kidding.
It almost was. It almost was figure skating. Next, I will be telling the case of Sally McNeil, female bodybuilder turned murderer.
Mm.
And
Do
there
you know
is a
this?
trigger warning I'm going to give right now for domestic violence throughout this case.
I feel like I might
Do you
know
know
this
this
one,
case?
surprisingly. I might
Okay,
know
yeah.
it.
You might.
I might know
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Sally McNeil was born Sally Dempsey in Allentown, Pennsylvania on September 30th, 1960. She describes her upbringing as tough. Her father, Richard Dale Dempsey, was an alcoholic who frequently abused her mother, and probably her. McNeil attended Dyeruff High School in Allentown, where she was on the school's swimming, diving, and track and field teams. She enrolled at East Stroudsburg State College with aspirations of becoming a gym teacher. After 3.5 years in college, though, she ran out of money to fund her education and dropped out. And her family didn't have the money to help support her through college either. Soon after, Sally enlisted in the Marine Corps at Camp Pendleton, like her brother and uncle before her, and rose to the rank of sergeant.
Damn.
Yeah. Damn.
In 1990, McNeil was demoted from her position as sergeant following a record of continuously poor behavior, including anger issues, violence, and lashing out at others.
Not good.
No. And these behavior issues prohibited her from re-enlisting in 1993. But while she was still in the Marine Corps, Sally began bodybuilding. She placed 4th in her first competition in February of 1987. She won the U.S. Armed Services Physique Championship twice in the late 1980s. Also, while in the Marine Corps, Sally met her first husband, Anthony Loudon, at Parris Island. They were married for 4 years and had 2 children, Shantina and John. And then I also read somewhere that she had a 3rd child from another man, but that child's not ever brought up anywhere else, so I don't know if that's accurate.
Okay.
I mean, maybe he just wants to be, not out there type of thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
McNeil described Loudon as abusive towards the end of their marriage, so McNeil filed for divorce from Loudon and was awarded custody of their 2 oldest children. And then this is also where I was confused, because I read that the 3rd child, but this was also on Wikipedia. The 3rd child was put up for adoption. So again, I don't know how accurate that is, because there's also a documentary on this case on Netflix called Killer Sally, and they don't ever mention a 3rd child. So I don't know if the 3rd child exists.
I have seen.
I think that's where I remember this from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it when I was researching this.
Yeah.
In June of 1987, Sally was introduced to fellow Marine and bodybuilder Ray McNeil. And her divorce finalized, I think, in May, and then she met him in June, so like a month later. She met Ray McNeil. She described it as lust at first sight. And he is huge. Like, because he's also a bodybuilder, like,
Yeah.
huge.
They
started seeing. Oh, have you?
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They started seeing each other and were married within 2 months.
Whew, that's quick.
So I guess that love
Married within 2
lust
months.
at first sight turned into love at first sight, I guess.
No, back it up. It was divorce, then immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Married again 2 months later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget the divorce that just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Kirsten said, lust at first sight.
Plus,
That quickens up a lot of stuff.
that
Yeah.
dick blind, I get it.
Yeah.
They soon moved to Oceanside, California with Sally's 2 children. The kids grew fond of Ray and even called him Dad. And in a documentary, I guess if you watch, you saw there was like footage of them at Disney World, and there was just like a bunch of people staring at them because you don't normally see like 2 large bodybuilder couple walking around.
They're like big hulks.
Yeah, because it's not just like him running around looking like that. She also does, which is kind of a unique circumstance to see a woman like that. So
That's true.
But according to the Netflix documentary, things weren't always so great at home, and Sally claimed Ray started abusing her just days after getting married. Her 2 children were interviewed in the documentary as adults, and they confirmed the abuse allegations, but also admitted their mom could be violent too. They recalled a time when Ray broke Sally's nose right in front of them, and she was like bleeding everywhere. Sally filed a report with her commanding officer because they were still in the Marine Corps at this time, but she dropped the charges after claiming Ray beat her until she did that. Yeah. Ray was also abusive towards the children. Whenever they did something wrong, Ray would take them into a room and spank them while the other watched.
And that's not even a light spank. There's no way that could have been a light spank.
Right, I
such
think
a
he used a belt. Oh, yeah, I know. Bodybuilders doing that,
Yeah.
They
Not
also
like that. I
struggled
condone like
financially.
whipping or anything, but good grief. Like,
Right.
It's one thing if you're going to spank a little bit, but when you're a big, bulky guy, you're not doing that gently.
Mm-mm.
And like, not that we know this, but what year is this again? Because this is a little bit.
They met in 87, so it's between 87 and 93.
And they're active bodybuilders. I'm telling you, the roid rage that they are probably going through.
Which does contribute, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is also why they are probably beating the shit out of each other, beating the kids and stuff is like, I mean, back then that was not anything regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The couple also struggled financially. Ray left the military to pursue bodybuilding full-time, but that doesn't pay the bills unless you win competitions.
That's true.
Sally was the only one working and had to pay to support Ray's career, including expensive steroids.
There it is. Yeah, I only had to wait 2 more. I'm like Steph over here. I only had to wait 2 more sentences.
Yeah, sorry.
Let me calm down.
Yes.
Since they live in Southern California, Sally would drive to Tijuana to buy steroids at their pharmacies.
I bet they got a good deal.
Probably.
Yeah.
But then this also prevented Sally from being able to pursue her bodybuilding further because she had to work to bring in the income and support Ray. And she is quoted saying, "He said that I was inferior, and he was the superior bodybuilder, and everything should go towards him. From the start, I wasn't good enough. I was never good enough. Ray felt as though he was the most important person in the family. He was trying to get me to give up my dreams so I could support him," end quote.
Wow. What a selfish prick.
And yet she's the one that's supporting him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
So to get some extra money, Sally began wrestling men on video for $300 an hour, earning her the name Killer Sally. She was trained by video maker Bill Wick, who is the husband of a female bodybuilder, Kay Baxter, and he would film sessions of female bodybuilders wrestling just regular men. Sally also worked as a female submission wrestler and performed muscle worship sessions with men. So these sessions were, I guess, sexual in some way for the men involved, but Sally denies ever having sexual relationships with them. It seemed to be more of a fetish thing, like men wanting to be wrestled by a big, strong woman.
Yeah, like
you
submit
could
to one.
definitely have a fetish and a transaction like that and not actually have sexual penetration. I mean,
Right.
people
That's
have
true.
those
Yeah.
fetishes. Yeah, it does not mean, I can think of multiple in my head that do not involve penetration that people are into, you know?
Yeah.
So I could see that. She's trying to make extra money. Sex sells. And that, like, not that she's having sex, but not saying
Right.
that, but like,
But she's still
those
using her
things,
body. Yeah.
yes, like those things
Yeah.
sell. And she has such a niche, unique look to her as a female. Especially we are back in this era where, honestly, she probably gives more of a masculine female figure to these men, and that was not necessarily an accepted viewpoint back then. So this probably, honestly, was a really good business for her to be making some money back then, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she said a lot of the men she would get would be like men who are normally more dominant at home, and they wanted the chance to not be dominant.
Yep. Yeah, and to have a female like that was that's definitely, that probably like was, you know, very exciting for them to have.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll pay money for that. Especially, I mean, we're in California? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got fucking money.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're paying for that.
Yeah.
Sally said she did not enjoy the work, but found the income outweighed what she labeled, quote, a dark side.
I can't imagine ever meeting a prostitute that says, yeah, I loved it. You know?
Right, yeah. They only do it for the money.
Yeah.
In 1991, Ray won the heavyweight and overall titles in the NPC, or National Physique Committee, California Championships, the IFBB, International Fitness and Bodybuilding Federation, and North American Championships, and competed in the 1993 Mr. Olympia competition where he placed 15th. So he was doing pretty well. He also began...
He was sitting there like, I don't know, talking to Sally like he's the bee's knees and he's placing 15th here, but I don't know.
Yeah, just in that one, but he won the heavyweight and overall titles.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I don't know, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also began participating in professional wrestling. Ray was very self-conscious, even though he was massive, and would be hard on himself about not being big enough. He was using 5 different steroids to help maintain his physique.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Kirsten, how about, did you put in here from a nursing perspective? What do steroids do to you?
Well, the kind that we give at work are different than what they're using.
Is it? See, I was unaware that they're significant.
I mean, at work, we give steroids for people that have breathing issues. To decrease inflammation in the lungs, help them breathe easier. That's the main thing that we give it for. Or some autoimmune diseases need steroids. So I don't know. I mean, I know all the effects of the steroids that men use in these competitions are very hard on your heart, and they often die of cardiac arrest.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've definitely heard that.
But they can also, change your personality a little bit. The roid rage is very real.
Yeah.
But what we give in the hospital is not quite the same.
It's not. Okay. So even if you took that home with you and just started pumping yourself up with those steroids you're not going to have, this is something different.
Yeah, we use with prednisone.
Yeah. This is different. Yeah. No. I figured.
Yeah, the ones he had in his system I had never even heard of. So.
Never even. Okay. I wasn't sure if you had gotten the details of what their actual medical, names were of what they were, if you had recognized.
I mean, they show them in the documentary, but I didn't write them down or anything.
No, but I was just curious because I never sat here and researched the steroids. I figured the steroids you get in a hospital is not the same as the steroids you're pumping yourself full of to get to that point of that physique and things. But I didn't know how much they differentiate from each other.
Definitely, how more regulated. The medical ones is a lot more regulated. People have tested out. You could see what the side effects are when you're doing bodybuilding steroids. It's usually under the table kind of deal.
And it's crazy to think.
I mean, she was buying them in Mexico.
That's true.
It's crazy to think somebody just decided to start pumping themselves full of this, and then all of a sudden we're big and thick, and that's what it does. It's just crazy to me that that's what a drug can do to you.
And And then I also, in the documentary, Sally talked about how she had used one steroid before, but only one, and it was one that I guess, helps you lift easier.
Okay. Oh, so they've got like they probably even advertise them on the black market of like
Yeah,
this roid for this. Yeah, like
probably.
it's a market,
I don't know
man.
much
Yeah.
about those kinds of steroids, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Ray began working as a bouncer at a nightclub with his friend Dwayne DJ Jeffers. One night, Ray ended up gouging his fingers through another man's eyes during an altercation, leaving the man blind.
Oh, I bet you liked that one to read.
Oh, yeah, I hated reading that.
Yeah, Kirsten, if y'all didn't know, Kirsten hates eyeballs and eyeball injuries.
Yeah.
I do.
So I bet that was good.
Shantina, one of Sally's children, confirmed this during an interview, recalling seeing Ray arrive home covered in blood, and he told her he had to do what he did because others were trying to kill him.
Dude, you're a big man. I mean, I think it's going to take a little effort to, you know, knock you down.
Mm-hmm. Ray began having an affair with another woman named Mary Ann Myers. Ray was planning on leaving Sally for Mary Ann and planned on spending Valentine's Day of 1995 with Mary Ann. Sally recalls waiting around for him all afternoon and evening to come home, wondering where he was. According to the Netflix documentary, Sally assumed he was at a bar or the club, and she was getting herself ready to go out and find him. Ray ended up arriving home around 10:30 p.m., which is awfully late to arrive home on Valentine's Day.
True.
Yeah.
When you have a wife.
Yeah. He was expecting to spend it with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An argument ensued, and Sally claimed Ray hit her and choked her. Shantina said she could hear her mom gasping for air. Sally was able to get away and ran to their room to grab a sawed-off shotgun.
Jesus.
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
Yeah. She told Ray to leave, but when he declined, she shot him twice in what she claims was self-defense. Sally then called 911 saying, "I just shot my husband because he just beat me up." Ray was still alive when paramedics arrived.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
In an interview with police, Sally said, quote, "I got scared and thought, he's going to kill me and I'm not going to make it through this night." End quote. And unfortunately, while she was still at the police station, Sally learned that Ray had succumbed to his injuries, so she was charged with his murder.
Okay.
On March 19th of 1996, Sally was found guilty of second-degree murder. Prosecutors suggested that Ray's murder was premeditated, alleging that they had found a shell found in the couple's bedroom, which could have indicated that Sally may have tried to reload the weapon, per Esquire. Also, the former allegations of assault... Oh, go ahead.
Because she went to the bedroom to reload, taking the empty shell out, leaving it in the bedroom when the incident happened out in the living room. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Yeah, I would suspect that too. If the shell's being found in the bedroom, why are you in there, girlfriend? We're trying to reload and we're going in for 2 more, baby. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I thought the gun was in the bedroom. It was not in the bedroom?
They weren't in the bedroom. She ran back into the bedroom to grab the gun.
And that's where she shot him.
I don't think she shot him in the bedroom.
Okay.
I think she just ran in to grab the gun, came back out, and told him to leave. When he said no, she shot him.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing. Like that's what I was picturing in my head. Like she came out to the living room, dining room, wherever they're at, from the bedroom with it.
Gotcha.
And then did it. And then like that empty shell, the only way it would have ended up, because you're not putting a gun back with empty shells in it, you know? So like the only way it would end up in the bedroom is she would have had to have taken that already spent gun she just shot him twice with back into the bedroom and then she's trying to reload it. So that's why that empty shell is there. So she's going for a third or a fourth possibly, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, the former allegations of assault against Sally were used in court against her, with the prosecution arguing that Sally was too strong to be battered. I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that either.
He was bigger than her.
Yeah.
If he was an average man, it was an average man, maybe you would
And
have that
her as a
argument.
bodybuilder? Yeah.
But you can
Yes.
still be abused even in other ways. It doesn't matter how big you are. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But when
So I
you're
don't.
looking at this scenario and you got this
Mhm.
big man, I mean,
That she's
she
trying to,
yeah,
the
So
narrative
I don't
that
agree with that. But
she's, the narrative that she was trying to go with and the narrative they're trying to go with, to me, is not, like, she can defend herself, but you know
but
what I'm
she
trying
can't
to say?
defend herself against her huge bodybuilder husband.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
they're, yeah.
Yep.
Sally was sentenced to 19 years to life in prison. She appealed her sentence, and in 2003, the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned her conviction, but it was then reversed by the U.S. Supreme Court in 2005. She ended up serving 24 years in prison by the time she was granted parole by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation in May of 2020. So she's out.
That was recent.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. She joined a local support group for veterans, which is how she met her now husband. She got married again. Norfleet Stewart.
Bang, bang, better watch out.
And she's quoted saying, "I didn't deserve the sentence I got, but I don't care anymore. I'm free," end quote.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It is.
It is, yeah. After getting out of prison... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, can you also picture in your head, the kids are at home, and your two parents who are ginormous people are fighting at home. You know, like, they're going through this physical fight, and then there's a gun. And can you imagine even just being at home for something so traumatizing at the time? And I don't know. I couldn't sit here and give you a solid on who deserves what type of thing. It's a sticky situation.
Right, yeah. Because there was clearly abuse, so...
Yeah, but those kids also were on the side of the mother, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because that's... Yes. Yeah.
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 Yeah, so it's... I don't know if she deserved to spend 20... I mean, she did kill someone. But...
Yeah. I'm not saying she should get off scot-free.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she deserved to spend definitely some time, because either way you murdered someone. But yeah, it's very gray area. It's tough.
Yeah.
After getting out of prison, Sally reconnected with both of her children, and her son John even walked Sally down the aisle at her wedding to Norfleet Stewart. And that is where this story ends. So it's kind of a happy ending, in a way, because she's out, she's living her life, she's starting over, but someone still lost their life along the way.
That's true.
Yeah. That is a poopy situation.
Yeah.
And honestly, it sounds like to me roid rage probably had a huge thing to do with coming to that drastic of a final for them, you know, like...
Yeah.
Well, she probably also, not to defend her to the extreme, but like, a shotgun was probably the only thing that could take down this man.
Probably,
it's not like she could have, punched him or strangled him or like subdued him that way. I think he was just
she had
much force. Yeah.
Especially if that night. Listen, I have never, and hope to never, be in a situation where I am being choked the life out of me. You know, like being in that situation. I could not imagine how I would react, how I'd feel, or anything. So I can't blame her for having that reaction if she felt like she was fighting for her life, being choked, beat, whatever that night, and then running for the gun. You know, like that's a scary situation.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
and then I just include in the end here, if you are experiencing domestic violence, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-233 or go to thehotline.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential, and the hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Get help, guys.
Yes.
If you're in that kind of situation, there's help out for you. I know it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't feel like it. But there's help.
The resources are there.
Yeah.
Yep.
We can find you a way out.
Yeah.
Whew, man, a little heavy at the end there.
Yeah, that was.
It was.
Well, mine doesn't end any lighter per se, but right. My next case is Brian Keith Blades. So Brian Keith Blades was born July 24th, 1965 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I couldn't find a lot about his upbringing, but he had attended Piper High School in Sunrise, Florida, and then attended University of Miami. He played for the football team as a wide receiver. He graduated with a pretty impressive college career record of 1,493 rushing yards, 80 catches, and 15 touchdowns. He graduated in 1988 and entered into the NFL draft. Back in 1988, there were only 28 football teams at the time. Blades was a second-round pick for the Seahawks, 49th overall. So that's pretty a decent of a draft pick. His NFL career was 11 seasons from 1988 to 1998. He will play all 11 seasons with the Seahawks. He was 5'11" and 189 pounds or 86 kilograms going into this career. His rookie season ended with 40 catches, with 682 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, which was his career best. The Seahawks clinched the AFC division this year, that year, his rookie year. And then the next season, he had over 1,000 rushing yards and was voted team MVP by his teammates. In 1994, after another over 1,000 rushing yards season, Blades was nominated for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award. Seattle Times Seahawks reporter Bob Condotta is quoted saying about Blades, quote, "For the next 10 years, he was as consistent of a receiver as there was in the NFL. He'll always be regarded as one of the top receivers in team history," end quote. When he finished his career, he was second behind Steve Largent in the Seahawks' history for receptions and receiving yards. He is, to this day, now ranked third in Seahawks history, now behind Tyler Lockett. Tacoma News Tribune columnist Dave Bowling is quoted saying, quote, "A lot of contemporary Seahawk fans probably don't remember Brian Blades. I have to say he was one of the toughest pound-for-pound players that the Seahawks has ever had. He was really one of the toughest Seahawks receivers," end quote. On July 5th, 1994, after celebrating the 4th of July at his house in Plantation, Florida, a tragedy occurred in the Blades family. The brother of Brian, named Benny Blades, who played a defensive back for the Detroit Lions, was arguing with his girlfriend. I read this argument was over the custody of Benny's daughter. I couldn't find that in any other article, so that's why I'm saying, like, I just read this somewhere that the argument was over custody of Benny's daughter. Brian went and got his .38 caliber handgun and brought it with him to intervene in this argument. Brian's cousin, Charles Blades, who was 34 years old at the time, followed Brian into his bedroom where the argument escalated. Somehow, Charles tried to restrain Brian when a fight broke out, and Brian's .38 caliber discharged twice. One of the shots struck Charles in the chin, killing him, and the other struck a wall. Blades believed that the second shot went off when he slammed the gun down in a panic after the first initial shot that killed Charles.
So he didn't actually pull the trigger, it just happened?
I don't know. Steph could probably get behind me on this one. Guns generally don't just go off. You got to pull the trigger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Usually
Some guns can, but it's
Yeah, because you
you
use the
really
term
have to.
discharged, meaning I'm assuming or at least
But
they're trying to tell the story of he didn't pull the trigger.
But the first one went off though. Like the first one went into the chin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're saying like they're struggling with a gun and it goes off into Charles' chin. And I don't know. It's a rare occurrence for, like, I'm talking extremely rare for a gun to malfunction that it's just like, plah, just like going off, you know?
Right.
So somebody's finger was on the trigger and pulled it and it ended up there.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Where-
figuring, yeah.
Yeah, you know. And then he's saying that that second shot that hit the wall was him slamming it down and it going off. But, I mean, in a panic, who knows where somebody's finger is and where, you know? And also, we're in a panic here. But I will say it's a rare occurrence for a gun to just, blah, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Police Sergeant Michael Price was investigating this incident, and he stated in a news conference, quote, "There was some kind of struggle. As Blades was trying to leave the room, Charles Blades was attempting to stop him," end quote. So 29-year-old Blades continued with his training for the upcoming football season, making his way to the Seattle Seahawks training camp. After about 10 days after this murder, Price was investigating the death of Charles, Plantation police issued a warrant for Blades' arrest. Right away, Blades' attorney informed Blades he needed to return to Florida. Drew Rosenhaus, who is Blades' agent, stated, quote, "We'll comply with the warrant and Brian will come back immediately from Seattle and he will return to Seattle as soon as he can," end quote. So when Blades arrived back in Florida, he originally refused to talk to police because he was just so upset about what had happened. But it didn't take long before he was admitting to it being an accident, and it was found that Charles Blades had a 0.25 alcohol level during the shooting, which is 3 times the legal limit. But Brian was never tested. But I'm sure, everybody was drinking. This is a holiday weekend, July 4th.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody was drinking.
Yeah.
But he was not tested. They also never tested for any prints on the gun for evidence. Blades was going to he was going to plead to no contest, but later pled not guilty. On June 9th, 1995, a 6-man jury did not waste any more than 6 hours total before ruling Brian Blades guilty of manslaughter.
He should have pled non-guilty contest.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. His max sentence could be 10 years. And for this trial, there really wasn't many witnesses to be called to the stand. Defense attorney Bruce Zennett was quoted saying, quote, "This case is clear. The evidence did not support the jury's findings of manslaughter," end quote. But instead, Brian was indeed found guilty of manslaughter in the 2nd degree. However, after only 72 hours, and Brian being out on a $10,000 bond, Judge Susan LeBeau overturned Blades' conviction. She claimed that there was a lack of evidence in the case to properly find Blades guilty of manslaughter. So in the end, Brian Blades was acquitted of all charges. Again, this is a great example of how fame and fortune might just help you get away with murder. Brian Blades continued after this murder for 3 more years in his NFL career, while his cousin Charles' life was cut short. And to me, it seemed like no one paid the price for taking a life that day on July 5th.
Yeah.
And that is the story of Brian Blades.
Got off easier than a lady that was trying to defend herself, who served 24 years.
Wow, what a fucking point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sally didn't have that fame and fortune. She wasn't,
No.
you know, bringing
Her
in the
name is known,
Seahawks
but yeah,
money.
they didn't have the fortune. You know, it was
Yeah. So I think
That's unfortunate.
today's whole thing is a pretty good, I don't know, perspective on what money will get you. Or
yeah, unfortunately.
what money will get you away with.
Or work in politics, and you'll get away with everything too.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Good old politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
I
let's.
hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go. Whoever's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna root for the winner, whoever they are.
That's right. Coming out a winner either way, then.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how you do it.
Yes. Well, everybody be safe on Super Bowl. Don't be stupid.
Yes.
Like these
Absolutely.
people, you know.
Yeah.
So, but we hope you enjoyed. And we hope you tune in next time for the next True Crime in a Dime. And maybe Steph will join in for the next True Crime in a Dime.
Yeah.
We never know. We didn't scare her away, hopefully, with the.
I'm just a surprise every so often. Just
Every
show
so
up.
often. A nice little sprinkle.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you have any suggestions for more like True Crime and a Dime themes, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Because we're taking it a season and a month at a time. We're just pulling these out of our ass, really. But you know, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Forget what do we have left yet. I think National Park Murders.
Okay, maybe we'll do that one next.
And then I also was going to do one where we just focus on missing people, one where we just focus on like unsolved murders.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, think about it, Steph. If you have any other themes yourself you could think of, let us know.
Yeah, I can think of some.
Yeah, sounds good. Make Like a Shadow and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at
Lurking in the Shadows podcast.
Check us out on TikTok at
If we're on band, Lurking in the Shadows pod.
If you have any case suggestions, questions, or concerns, shoot us a Gmail at
lurkingintheshadowspodcast@gmail.com. Keep lurking around for our next episode.